Okay, we are live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our latest live
Yes.
here on Sorgy Stories. It is football Saturday,
Yeah.
NFL football Saturday, a rare version of it. It gives us an excuse to talk to all of our followers and anyone who wants to talk football. Cowboys-Eagles happen just a few miles away from us.
Yes, not very far. We're in the Philly area, and this is going to be an intriguing game. No one really knows who is going to win.
And no one really knows who you are unless you tell them.
Yes.
Some might, but
I'm Anthony.
I am Daddy, so if you call me Jay, obviously. And
this is Sorgy Stories.
This is Sorgy Stories. We are continuing our weekend live, and we're trying to do it during games.
Yeah.
As an excuse to get a lot of you out there talking sports and whatever else. We've got the Bogues from Mississippi joining us. Hi. Homestead Family Reclaim joining us.
Yes.
Thank you for popping in, and remind me where you're from, Homestead Family Reclaim, so we can join in. American Football Network.
Yes, my good friend down in South Carolina.
Wayside Way chiming in with some cheese curd dipping options.
Ooh.
I wish we would have had them today.
Yeah, so we you'll see the video coming up. We did try some cheese curds today. More like cheese, like
they were big cheese balls.
You might call them cheese bites. If you've ever had like mac and cheese bites, they're like those. Ketchup is mine. You like the ranch.
Big fan of ranch. And Homestead Family Reclaim from Illinois. If you're a Chicago Bears fan, we will not hold it against you.
Yes.
We are believers in frenemies. These two teams don't believe in frenemies.
No. It's a harsh rivalry, and really when I say the word harsh, meaning that the fan bases are harsh to the other team, and this is just crazy game.
Stephen and Andy saying hi. We have like a very southern contingent. A couple of Carolinians. We've got Illinois, but we also have Mississippi represented with us today.
Wayside Wade, Wisconsinite.
Right, but to give you an idea of how much these two teams loathe each other, on the Dallas side of it, whenever they play the Eagles, in the entire Dallas Metroplex, and I know this from a roommate of mine back in college who's from Dallas, they will not serve or sell Philadelphia cream cheese that week. And then whenever the Eagles face the Cowboys here in Philly, it's hate.
Yes.
We tried to teach this young man not to hate anybody or anything.
Yes.
So we live with that. But hate. Oh my gosh. It is just off the charts.
This week, I'm driving to school, turn on sports radio, and what do I hear? I hear callers saying, Dallas sucks! I taught my 4-year-old daughter to say that! American Football Network never had cheese curds, but I've heard they're very good. I know you've been to Culver's. Yes, I know you've been there.
Get into Culver's. Back to Dallas and Philadelphia hate. If any of you are NFL films junkies like I am, you go back to like the late 70s, early 80s. Dallas was obviously the quote unquote America's team. That's around the time that they actually trademarked the phrase, even though they're not America's team. The Green Bay Packers are.
No, the Packers are the world team.
Yes, well, that too. But the Philadelphia Eagles were getting good. They were getting real good. And in 1980, both teams made the playoffs. Ooh. They played for the NFC Championship here in Philadelphia. And the week before, after Philadelphia clinched their win, there's this one fan at the old Veterans Stadium who pointed right at the NFL Films camera and said, Dallas, we hate you. Dallas, we want you right here at the vet. That blows your brain.
Yeah.
Just how much anger there is there. Let's get back to some of the comments. Wayside Way, cheese curds can be very greasy, but that is usually worth it. Yes. You're watching with no sound. Hopefully our sound is working. Let me give you a quick test here. It's a bit quiet, but working. Let's see. The Bogues, yes, so sad about so many different things. Yes, number one, that you don't have as many cheese curd options, but more importantly, number two, a lot of other things going on. Um, American Football Network, Culver's, the Butter Burgers.
Oh yes.
Oh,
And the
I miss them.
ice creamers, we call it in the Midwest, frozen custard. Game just kicked off. Eagles are, I think, starting with the ball. 26 degrees and clear.
We almost got tickets to this game.
Yeah, they were only, we found them as low as $40.
Yes, Philadelphia started with the football at the 25-yard line to start this game.
They took the touchback.
That I don't blame them. Gardner Minshew, by the way, is starting in this game instead of Jalen Hurts.
And yeah, Minshew hadn't started much, but yeah.
Wayside Way, Brent Fullwood, yes. Back in the day, the Green Bay Packers, the late 80s, Don Mikowski, known for fumbling horribly. Yes. Oh, Steven and Andy. Oh, you were a Cowboys fanatic back in the Tom Landry heyday. And you lived in Pennsylvania at the time. Did you need security? Did you need security living around here? That's what I want to know. Dave and Kathy Hyde. Hello, everybody.
Homestead Family Reclaim. I swore Wade said you were Steelers fans. Well, you know, that's pretty close. We both have yellow and
Jason Kelsey on the sideline being dressed. I thought he was going to start and play one play tonight at least because he has a consecutive start streak. And
at the same time, this could be his last game ever.
At least in Philadelphia.
Yeah. In Philly, in front of the home crowd. And
let's see,
it hasn't been made big enough of a deal here.
39 situation. Oh my gosh. This play. Gardner Minshew had a pass tipped and almost intercepted by a Cowboys player. It bounced about 10 yards down the field, and an Eagle caught it.
Devontae Smith right there.
With a beautiful double move to get open.
Came back. What a catch.
He came back for the ball after it was tipped. Just ridiculous. Let's see. Homestead Family, he didn't say that. I was just kidding. Yes.
No, but we're both very passionate fan bases. We're cool with the Steelers. We're cool with the Bills. We're cool with a lot of AFC teams.
Wayside and Mike having a little bit of Wisconsin-Illinois rivalry. It's not as mean as Dallas and Philadelphia.
You know,
I can tell you that.
I've heard a lot. I've heard some people say that we all have one thing in common, that we can't stand Iowa.
That's sort of true.
I have heard that.
I've been to Iowa before. I've been there twice. They were nice.
Yeah, they're nice.
They were nice. They were
like the rest of the Midwest.
People. Yeah, we're Midwest nice.
Midwest
adjusting
South.
To Philadelphia.
The Midwest and the South, very similar when it comes to the nice. The East Coast, blunt but nice.
Yes, I would say that. Philadelphia's been very approachable, very kind, but
using his legs.
But yeah, they'll tell you what they think here. They will absolutely tell you what they think here. As this and the Gardner Minshew story here in Philadelphia has been really interesting.
Yeah.
Because Jalen Hurts was the guy.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles drafted him last year as their future starter.
Yeah, same class as Jordan Love.
Quarterback. Yeah. Really talented quarterback in Alabama. Really talented.
At Oklahoma as well. He transferred.
That's right. He did transfer. So they brought him in and they let him develop by watching on the bench a lot last year before he eventually took the starting role. And he had the starting role this year, his second year. This is a year where he was expected to climb a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, we'll continue that story. American Football Network. I will always love Iowa because of the Field of Dreams. You're asking the question, the Bogues, of your age. We do mention it. Well, I mean, if you find,
you can find it somewhere, but we don't mention it much. But
yeah, like I'm 40. Something. First down from Philadelphia on the ground at the 20-yard line. But Gardner Minshew was brought in as the backup for Jalen Hurts because we knew there was going to be Jasmine Maria. Hi from Brazil. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Gardner Minshew was brought in as an insurance policy. That's what usually a backup quarterback does.
Yeah.
And there was a point in the season where Jalen Hurts was struggling. The Eagles changed the kind of game that they play to much more of a run the football type of game.
Yeah.
And Hurts was doing fantastic.
And the Eagles driving down the field must have had a big play. They're inside the 20. Oh, and there they go.
And they're now inside the 10-yard line with a first and goal.
At the 8.
You're seeing right now what their capability of running the football allows the Eagles to do.
Yeah, and
one of the best teams in the NFL had it.
They got Gardner Minshew. Series of circumstances. They traded Joe Flacco, who is I would say he's got a lot of people love him here. Went to University of Delaware. That's one of the kids in my class's favorite player.
Eagles down to the 7-yard line, by the way, now. Or
yes.
5-yard line, actually.
And yeah, so they traded him to the New York Jets and then traded for Gardner Minshew. So yeah, and this is second and goal now for Philly again. So we're at 10 minutes. Eagles 9-7. They have clinched their playoff berth. Dallas has won the division, I'm pretty sure. And
what's interesting,
a fake. And they're gonna get inside
the 5-yard line. What's interesting about this game is that both teams have clinched a playoff spot. They each can advance in the seedings of the NFC.
Yes.
With some help, but there's not much that they really can do beyond that. So I think in a lot of ways they decided to treat this like a preseason game.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting.
Yeah, so Dallas, again, 11-5. Philly, 9-7. Huge third and goal. We can't do play-by-play, but we can tell you a little bit.
Yeah, and
what's going on.
Minshew was brought in as sort of the, here we go, a Philadelphia touchdown.
What a play.
It was essentially a run play by a tight end.
It was a little bit of just a
Tyree Jackson with a touchdown reception.
3 yards. So yeah, it was just a little bit of a scoop. And Minshew was, you look there, the coverage. Oh, a great fake by the Eagles.
Yep.
And that really drew a lot of guys to one player. Really, really did help. We're getting the score all fixed up here.
We're doing a manual version of the scoreboard for you tonight.
And the extra point is through the middle. So yeah, this is all manual. We are fixing everything. So yeah, it's complicated.
It's okay.
Great play though by Philly to get themselves up. Gardner Minshew.
That didn't work. Hang on.
Okay,
technical difficulties.
Yeah, we're having technical difficulties. I'll try to fill it in.
We're having technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Chris Learning, hello. But give us your favorite NFL team and what game you're looking forward to the most. Tomorrow we have the Sunday night game is Raiders Chargers. That's the only game that has it's a win and you're in. If you lose, you go home.
Right, except for a little bit of a chance for Las Vegas, which really should be Oakland, to get in with a whole bunch of other losses as well. But it's also an AFC West division championship game.
Yeah.
So,
other than, the Chiefs have it, but yeah.
Yes, and I love this too, American Football Network. Best part about that play, it counts as a pass.
Yeah.
I love the passing game. Wayside Way. Things have been slow on the platform lately. Have we noticed?
He's the one always on YouTube.
I'm the one who's. You're the one who was always watching.
I am on YouTube, but he's the one who mainly runs the channel and the videos. I did watch a lot, but with school, I don't have much time. It's all homework and that fun stuff.
Thank you, Homestead Family Reclaim. Hit that
like we got
like button for everyone watching. Absolutely. And hi, Chris Learning. And yes, this kid is mature in a whole lot of ways.
No, I'm not.
I would say so. In some ways, you're beyond your 12 years. In some ways,
you still have how old I am.
Okay, my apologies. Hang on. Time out.
Maybe who knows?
Just for that, here's a pillow. Bought me over the head.
Oh, I almost just hit the light.
Oh, not good. Okay. Okay.
There.
That's enough.
I always do 3.
That's enough. Okay.
Okay.
So, much appreciated, Wayside Way.
As you know, I'm probably seeing all this.
We will have the pillow ready for more pillow fighting as this game continues. Now, this game is the most bloodthirsty, perhaps, among the fans of any in the National Football League. The one among the players that probably is Baltimore-Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Oh, that's huge.
By far. By far. Oh, the Bogues talking about, oh, by the way, go check out the Bogues. If you want a really cool sort of story about slice of life for a family, especially with someone who has special needs, but who is just this amazing young woman, this really cool girl, Alyssa, and the Bogues. Great story. Follow Julie and her family's adventures. Go check them out.
American Football Network, go, Pop, go check out our Ravens video if you haven't.
We'll get that in detail in a sec, but keep
yes.
going.
Can't wait to see my man Hunter Renfrow, Clemson. I'm pretty sure he went to Clemson. Break the record for single season receptions by a Raiders player. Yeah. I didn't know about that, but yeah, Hunter Renfrow is a really good player, and Dallas's driving day, I'm guessing, took a touchback. I don't know if that's Zeke or who.
That's Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, so he is playing.
He is playing.
Okay. I wasn't expecting. So yeah, Zeke, Amari Cooper, and CeeDee Lamb all playing.
This game is weird because these teams can't go much farther than where they are in terms of seeding with a win. It feels a little bit like a preseason game, a little bit like a rivalry game, a little bit like a playoff game.
Yeah.
It's strange. And we just saw one of the weirdest line of scrimmage situations that I can remember, because you had one Cowboy who false started, which meant he started right before the snap and got up. And you had all these Eagles coming and blasting and trying to hit the quarterback because they saw that happen. It is just fun. Just fun.
So.
But yeah. I mean, this game, it's like, we are not bettors. I think if I ever bet, I would probably bet no more than $5. Obviously, betting is now legal, and sports betting is legal in many different parts of the United States. And so for that reason, it was a very hard game to bet on because you don't know who's going to play.
Yeah. You
don't know who's going to play. How many starters are going to take out? How many in this game? This were against 7-0 Philadelphia.
3rd and 5 for Dallas, and we only see 5 likes in the chat. Don't know what's going on with all these likes.
I'm not worried about that. If you hit the like button, it's going to show up. We're not worrying about just having just an individual like. Things will be okay.
Yeah,
it'll be all good. All good. Now, for those who are not familiar with going to a game in Philadelphia, particularly a Philadelphia Eagles game, we've been to a game where our Milwaukee Brewers took on the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, fans were fun.
Fans were fantastic to us.
Yeah, but when you go to an Eagles game as a road fan, just don't do it. Just don't. If you want to go as someone neutral or as an Eagles fan, then you're good.
Absolutely.
But don't go as a road fan. We're not going to go to Packers-Eagles next year. That's for sure.
Nice. Now, we are planning on, I would love to go to the Packers-Eagles game next year, but if we go, we are going incognito. We are shutting up. We are not taking any chances.
Unless we find the Packers section. Yeah,
American Football Network, you're saying that you've been to Churchill Downs. You were associated with betting one time.
What were you there for? And, we betting isn't horrible as long as, what's your rule, $20 or less?
Yeah, I go $5 or less, but I'd say
$20.
$20 or less, you're probably okay.
I've been part of a bet that was, I wasn't putting up any money, but the other kid didn't buy it, but the kid has to buy Devontae Adams shirt because the Packers made the playoffs.
American Football Network. When you were there, was it for the Kentucky Derby, or were you just there to see a race at Churchill Downs, which is cool in itself because it's the home of the Kentucky Derby?
Yeah. So you keep talking to each other in the chat. We love it. So yeah, we'll try to keep everyone.
3rd and 3 right now for Dallas as they
3rd and
continue
3.
to mow down the field at this particular point. After we have to check the screen to see where the yard line is. They are in Philadelphia territory at the 34-yard line.
Yeah.
It's that's awesome, Sad Wade. That's awesome.
Almost picked.
Almost an interception on that particular play, which means, do you go for it on 4th down?
Maybe.
4th and 3. Do you go for it on 4th down in a game that really can't hurt you too much if you lose?
Okay, I will be right back in about 30 seconds. I'll let Daddy take the shit for now.
Okay, do you go for it on 4th down or not? Yes or no? Yes. Or no? I say in a situation like this, you go for it. And that's what Dallas is doing. They have to get to about the 30.5-yard line on this particular play. Okay, yeah, American Football Network going for the experience. That is awesome. That is the way it should be. Dallas gets the 1st down and more. They're now right at about the 20-yard line.
They went for it?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Yes, they did. Now, we're having some discussion in the chat about some cars. Okay, what do you drive? What does everyone drive? What kind of car do you drive while we're in this football discussion? And I can tell you that living in Philadelphia, I work down the hallway from the Philadelphia Eagles and Phillies radio flagship station, Sports Radio 94 WIP. We listen to Eagles talk all the time now that we live in the city. And it is so interesting a place to be to see a team that is growing the way that they're growing. They're right at that point where they've just begun to climb a little bit. They're possibly, you could see this team be a contender in 2023, maybe. I'd say give them 2 more years before they really could be a dark horse for a Super Bowl bid. But they've grown. They have grown, despite the fact that Dallas is driving on them 2nd and 5 at the 15-yard line, and they've got a receiver wide open who just broke into the end zone for a touchdown.
Okay.
Which means that I need to update our scoreboard.
And I am right behind the camera, everyone. I will be. I'm trying to figure something out here.
What are you trying to figure out?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Let me see.
Okay.
So now it is 7-7.
Well, 7-6 right now.
7-6, and extra point is about to probably happen. So yeah, Dak is playing in this. Throws to Wilson, number 1, for the touchdown. And here comes the extra point. And it is right down the middle. So 5:08 left in this game. We have an interesting thing, a doubleheader Saturday for ESPN and ABC here. No Monday Night Football this week. And for the wild card, I think we'll have 2 CBS games, 2 Fox games, an ESPN game, and an NBC game coming up next week. So, yeah. Right now we're on commercial, and yeah.
So here's my question.
AFN 2004 F-150. Okay.
Yes, not bad. Not bad. A 2007 Honda Elements.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We're what, you have a Kia?
I have a Kia Rio, and
mommy has a non-mommy has a Honda CRV.
Yes, which we both drive here and there,
yeah.
But the CRV really is the one that she drives more often, while I drive the little car, which, by the way, is perfect for driving in the city.
Yeah, because
it's this little Kia. It's easier to park with. It's much easier to especially when it comes to gas mileage. It's fantastic when it comes to gas mileage.
Still working on the score here. So yeah, if you just happen to come on here, and we are Stories. I'm Anthony. Daddy.
I'm Daddy.
We are here doing sports. We're here doing travel. We're here doing food. We are Packers fans who live in Philly.
Wisconsin sports fans in general. You see his Marquette.
Yes, Marquette
National Championship T-shirt from 1977.
Yeah. So, again, we're still on commercial, and let's talk about something happening on Monday night.
Like pillow fights.
That's not going to be happening Monday night. But what will be happening is the national championship. Alabama, Georgia. My money's on Alabama.
I have learned way too often as someone who can't stand Alabama because I've just gotten old with it, that bet against Alabama at your own peril. Nick Saban may be the greatest college football coach in the history of that sport.
He is.
And they've only had 7 games, I believe, in his whole tenure where they've been underdogs.
6-1.
They're 6-1. You don't bet against Alabama in a game like this, and they're an underdog.
Yeah.
Though they beat Georgia by 2 touchdowns in their latest game.
A touchback by Dallas.
Way sideways, yes. CRVs are fantastic.
Yeah.
I should ask the Bows, if you're still on here, who you going with, Alabama or Georgia? We know you are neighbors to Alabama. You're probably sick of them.
AFN, yeah, roll tide roll in this one. I know you're not an Alabama fan. You're a Clemson fan. By the way, go check out American Football Network. Doing college football stuff, NFL draft, all that fun stuff.
Dave and Kathy Hyde chiming in, talking about CRVs as well on the trip you're currently on in Texas. Go check them out. They are great when it comes to some awesome natural beauty type of videos that they put out there.
Minshew trying to run, and he gets tackled. For this, I think it's going to be 2nd and 10. Eagles, I've heard, are bringing back the Kelly Greens for a throwback next year.
Oh, the throwback Kelly Greens from the 1960s all the way until, I want to say, like the early 1980s.
Yeah, and I've heard that they're gonna bring him back for at least one game. So my grandfather loved Alabama. He had a devotion to Alabama, Tennessee, and West Virginia. And
which is weird because Alabama and Tennessee are rivals.
Yeah. And Nick Saban is from West Virginia. So
that's true.
Yeah, it's gonna. So I have always liked them, and the last time they met up, I'm like, can someone else just win? But now I'm like, Bama's never gonna lose, so does it really matter?
Arizona is the current destination for Dave and Kathy Hyde.
Good. I'm glad you reached AZ.
Beautiful warmth.
3rd and 11
place.
With about 4 minutes left.
And you may have some playoff football in that area if you decide to stay there with the Arizona Cardinals. They are probably going to have a home game next week. So if you want to grab some playoff tickets, go right ahead.
And Finn, I can feel you on that one. As a Clemson fan, I don't want Darion Kendrick to transfer and win an Natty. I could see that he transferred from Clemson to Georgia. I think our tripod is kind of far away, but I want to reach it and start highlighting these comments. Maybe next time we'll have to. Who knows? Maybe next time we'll have to try doing the stream on my computer. So
we'll have to see how that works.
We'll try to figure out what
we'll
we
have
can
to
do.
see how that works. Philadelphia being forced to punt in the situation. Dallas proving perhaps they may be still the better team between them, and I know that absolutely sickens me because just as much as Philadelphia fans can't stand Dallas, I'm in that category. I'm definitely in that category. 70 degrees today in Arizona. There will not be a Packers game available for you.
Yeah, same.
We're stuck with Washington against the New York Giants.
But Chip, you can listen live either on, so you can listen live, WTMJ.com/listen live.
My old station back in Milwaukee, they do that.
On computers. No mobile devices, but you can get it on computer, laptops, and that's how we listen to the games. When we cannot watch them on TV, when they're on the 1 o'clock slot, either the Eagles are playing or the Giants or Washington.
That's pretty typical, and that's what it's going to be, Washington Giants tomorrow night as well.
So right now we're on commercial. What do y'all want us to do? We can put in a poll. We might. I don't know if we're going to be able to. We might be able to drop a link if y'all want to join in. Whatever you all want, we will try to make it happen.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm making up words. I'm making up words here in the line.
Yeah, I've gotten some new language at school. Words like confuzzled.
Confuzzled.
Yeah, confused and puzzled. Stick them together. Or gobbledygook, which is all the extra numbers that come after that decimal in in math. American Football Network. Somehow I get Packers Lions tomorrow on Fox.
That's the semi-national game for the early game, but we're getting Washington Giants here on the East Coast. What was I going to say? I had a point here.
What you're going to be saying is go Pack Go.
No, of course. Let's get back to that. By the way, how many of you have had a chance? I think I've seen some of you comment on this already, and watch our epic, ridiculously long 35-minute mini documentary about the Green Bay Packers and the Baltimore Ravens and our game there. For those that joined us and stayed on it for the entire live on Tuesday night, when Anonymami and this little buddy were on the chat while I was working, thank you. That was an absolute blast.
Also, if you want us to drop poll that with this to make it easier, we will. But what do you watch Sorgy Stories for? Is it the food? Is it the travel? Is it the sports? Or is it everything? Like, what do you watch us for? And also, who are you cheering for in this game? That's another question. So.
Oh, it's a yes or no thing.
Oh no, we can add another option.
That's true, but yes or no have to be options.
Oh, okay. Well, we will.
Never mind.
We'll try to figure that out next time.
Absolutely. I think we can figure out why people watch.
Yeah.
Based on analytics and numbers and all that type of thing. Okay. We've talked about Alabama being the kind of a team that people loathe because too often they win. Is that?
Yeah. And that's going to be inside the 30.
Long pass completion.
That's going to be Amari. Is that Amari Cooper?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes. You had a beautiful crossing pattern across the way to go from the right to the left side of that offense. Dak Prescott just threw an absolute dime.
Chris Learning. What? I missed Anonymami on chat. Let's make that happen again. Let me call him.
Thank you, Wade Sideway, as well for your comment. Thank you.
Yes.
But we talk about Alabama being the team that everyone wants to be, and no one can stand. The Dallas Cowboys, for so many of you, have been that team and for so much of the country, because they were so good for so long. Back in the 1970s, there would be on national TV every week. That's where they came up with the moniker of America's team. Homestead Family Reclaim. You watch because Wade tells you to. Wade, thank you for being a cheerleader there. Much appreciated. And yes, of course, cheese curds. We will have plenty more coming. We found every single spot in metropolitan Philadelphia in the Delaware Valley that sells fried cheese curds. We have found every spot on our road trips for the future where they have cheese curds in restaurants. You will have plenty of cheese curds on this channel as much as we possibly can. I will tell you that. But, we are efforting at this moment. That's another made-up word. Efforting. Effort is not a verb. Effort is a noun. But yet we keep saying the phrase, we are efforting to try and get to something to happen.
Hello, Anonymami will not be on the stream. Sorry. She will try to make it a different time.
Awesome.
And day.
Awesome. Dedication to the curd. Absolute dedication to the cheese curd. As another completion from Dak Prescott that gets Dallas inside the Philadelphia 30-yard line.
Hold on, I want to try some. Can we just? Oh, that works. Okay, good.
He's experimenting.
Yeah. Okay, so we can just. Okay, thank you, Lincoln. I watched this. You all can see it now. We finally figured out how to do this. We can
highlight comments.
On the screen.
Much appreciated. And,
yes.
And American Family Network.
American Football Network.
American Football Network. You are so amazing.
Yes.
Beyond the channel and with it, as well as Dak Prescott nearly gets decapitated throwing the football out of bounds.
It almost picked.
on a 3rd down and 11.
Yes.
And we got some extracurriculars happening. We got some fighting going on. We might have some fights. Fight.
And we will see you later, American Football Network. Hope that you have a good night. So, yeah, Dallas faces this 4th and 11.
Real quick, American Football Network, are you going to be doing live chats during the national championship game?
I think he is.
Check them out.
Yes.
Check him out. Definitely check him out. But, yeah, there is always some extracurriculars going on.
Here comes the field goal.
And a field goal attempt coming from Greg Zerline. This will be about a 48-yard attempt from the 38-yard line.
As clock winds down in the first quarter, and it is
a 10-7 lead for Dallas. I have to update the manual scoreboard again.
Yes. Well, I'll take care of the chat here. So yeah. Yes, for sure, extracurriculars in between. Number 78 of that whoever that is of Dallas, and number 93, I think that's Williams of Philadelphia. Here as we are back on commercial break, updating the score.
They're not being nice.
So yeah, and if you look at the background, we just happened to be by Lincoln Financial Field. Got a pretty good picture.
Great camera work, little bud.
Kinda, you can kind of see the car in the side, but
it's okay.
Yeah, it was kind of hard when we were driving on an interstate to get a good job.
I give him credit.
Oh, come on.
Better than a golf clap.
Don't give me credit.
Better than a golf clap.
Okay.
Golf clap.
Better than golf club. I would hope I'm better than a golf club.
Better than a golf clap.
Mr. Chopsticks isn't.
Oh, Mr. Chopsticks saying hi.
Oh, isn't it past his bedtime? No, it's weekend.
Yeah, it's a weekend. We're fine.
And it wouldn't even be right about now. It wouldn't even be my bedtime anyway.
Yeah, we're pretty good. We're pretty good with him on weekends.
I stay up pretty late on weekends for some people. For the kids in my class, stay up until 4 a.m. on the weekends.
Yeah,
about at least midnight on weeknights.
We're a little more disciplined when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But not so bad.
So yeah, as you can see, just getting everything updated here. It is a process. So yeah, we're getting everything set up, and now we are here. So 10-7, Dallas over the Eagles.
Uh-oh. I'm not sure we want to know your theme song, Mr. Chopsticks. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, this is potentially going to be getting fun. Yeah, I would say Wayside that he does still run on Central Time Zone.
No, not much.
When we were doing our West Coast road trip, by the way, go check that.
Horrible.
Go check that West Coast road trip series out.
Great trip, horrible timing.
We were on the Pacific Time Zone, obviously. And when we took that trip, we get into Oakland to go see the Brewers play the Oakland A's. We get into our Airbnb probably about 11:30 at night on a Sunday night.
That's 1:30 in the morning.
Milwaukee time. This kid was.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on Hawaii time by that point.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's a perfect place if you're ever a football fan. You can watch football from 8 in the morning until 6:30 at night.
Go check out NFL Films. They actually did a thing on some Packers fans in Hawaii. You can just go over to.
Darn good return for Philadelphia to get to 36-yard line.
You can just go over to their house, watch a game, and Mr. Chopsticks, it's G-rated. Well, we don't have any guests on the show currently, but I guess you can put it in the chat.
I would say that's okay. I mean, as long as it's all good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to identify you, Mr. Chopsticks. I'm just going to ask one question so I personally know. Are you a Pittsburgh Steelers fan? Are you a Pittsburgh Steelers fan? That's all we need to know. So you flew from California to Kuwait. That's bonkers. How long was your jet lag? Philadelphia with the football. A little bit of play action from Minshew to start the drive.
That's again, Devontae Smith.
I mean, this kid, Devontae Smith, there's a good reason why he won that Heisman Trophy. And he's going to turn into a serious receiver.
So, you were kind of a Steelers fan, stopped watching football. You were a
jet lag lasting 3 weeks. Oh my gosh.
You were a fan of the team of Washington, now known as the Washington football team. Name coming out, I think, in a couple weeks, actually.
So Philadelphia with the football almost by midfield at the 48-yard line. 1st and 10, I believe.
And that's going to get them across 50.
Based on the finalists, by the way, with the Washington nickname, I think they've been talking about they wanted to do, like, what was it?
Red Wolves.
The Red Wolves?
That was the fan favorite.
I am taking a guess. It's not going to be that because of copyrights that are owned by pro sports teams, Minnesota Timberwolves.
They said it was eliminated from the finals because of trademarks.
Right.
Which makes me think that they were going to go with it and then found out that they can't.
That's my guess. That is absolutely my guess. That might be a place, by the way, where we might catch a Packers game next year. We'll have to see because they're playing there and they're playing in New York.
Red Wolves, it will be Admirals. I don't think that's one of the choices, if I'm correct. If I saw it. And they would have to get copyrights from the Milwaukee Admirals. So.
Which, by the way, go check out a Milwaukee Admirals hockey experience. Chris learning, when Junior and I were in Vegas, we stayed on Eastern time zone. You called it backwards Vegas hours. You were in bed at 6 and up at 4 in the morning. How in the world did you do that? How? That's bonkers. Arkansas State.
Yeah.
But Arkansas State is not as good as your favorite Arkansas school.
Arkansas Pine Bluff. Let's go. Let's go Gold Lions.
First down for Philadelphia. They get across the 40-yard line of Dallas.
That's just a joke with one of my old friends from Milwaukee, and we said that. So,
Arkansas Pine Bluff is this old joke because they're like the bottom of the bottom when it comes to Division I college sports.
Okay, I'm going to be right back. Look up the official finalists for this thing for the Washington football team.
And Milwaukee Admirals game, that is a ridiculously fun experience. Absolutely ridiculously fun experience. I highly recommend it. NHL games can be sometimes way too expensive. We have someone joining us, appears from Russia. Hello. What's your favorite football team? Name your favorite football team. Tell us what you think. And tell us what you think of the quarterback that plays for your favorite football team, just so we can get your opinion.
I think that's a bot. So, yeah.
I'm taking a guess.
That's great. That's a bot.
I'm taking a guess.
We never went to a Wave game, Mr. Chopsticks.
Unfortunately.
And now YouTube is... I didn't even go on YouTube and it gave me a video. I was on there earlier, but yeah. And I guess it was still on there.
We have yet to go to a Milwaukee Wave game or any indoor soccer game together. We could go down in Baltimore because the Wave play road games down there.
Yeah, that is a bot. Yeah,
that's a bot.
Yeah,
that's a bot.
So,
yeah, that's why I was trying to get them to say, okay, name your favorite quarterback, name the quarterback for your team, and what you think of that quarterback, so you can get some actual commentary versus it being a bot.
So here are the official. So these ESPN is about to give us the official. The Wave, I think, are still around. Yes, they
absolutely.
We're getting ESPN up here. You know, it's slow.
Yeah, because we got 2 video streams going on at one time, really 3, so we can watch our live broadcast as well as watch the game. So that's why things may be a little slow, but we do have very good internet here in the house.
So the okay, we're still getting this.
While I was looking for that, I do want to say I want to take you to a Philadelphia Union MLS game.
Yes.
Next season, they were a playoff contender.
Here we go. Armada, Presidents, Brigade, Red Hogs, Commanders, Defenders, and football team.
I could see it being anything that's sort of military. I could see that happening. In fact, I saw a little bit of a snippet of what the jersey's going to look like. It's got gold stars on it.
So what do you think about that?
It's okay.
But what do you think about what that could mean for a new team?
Probably one of the military ones. Probably not presidents.
Yeah, that's too That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, they are the most oldest continuously operating professional soccer team in the U.S. Although I would think the New York Cosmos would have them beat because they were operating way before the wave one. The question is, did they continue from their NASL days and still exist all the way until they entered third division soccer, which I believe is still pro in the United States.
Yes.
And by the way, we've entered the second quarter. It is 10-7 Dallas, but Philadelphia on the move.
They're driving.
And they are now inside the 28-yard line as Gardner Minshew. Minshew's very different than Jalen Hurts. He doesn't try and run the football here and there. He is very much just chuck it back, just drop back, chuck it, and send it down the field, and just find the open guy. Wayside Wade. Mike and I have to go do some stuff with some Aussies. You'll be back. Here's to the curd. Cheese curds for everyone. And the current Cosmos is not the same as the original Cosmos. If you ever want to see some really good storytelling as well as soccer, go to the channel Copa 90. They did something on the New York Cosmos that was just powerful in the history of the New York Cosmos.
All right, so
that's where Pelé played, by the way, when he came to the United States.
Here we go. 14-yard line, 1st and 10, Philadelphia.
And if you ever watch and see all these different confusing formations, it's bonkers. But it's because they want to try and confuse the defense.
Okay, fake game's going to be a run.
I've seen like maybe already 10, 15 different formations from the Eagles just in this quarter and another minute of football.
Yes.
Do any of you who watch who are just fans of ours get confused about the game, that you don't understand it because it does have that complication? Tell us what you think. Is the game a bit too confusing?
Yes.
I don't blame you if it is.
So, 2nd and 9, Philly here. They are at the 13-yard line. Here's the thing. Oh, and that's going to be a huge loss. We're
Cowboys get
second or
about
third,
the 17-yard line, about a 4-yard loss going to third down.
3rd and 13, 14. So here's the good thing. If we're getting bots, that must mean we're pretty high on the YouTube rank. So
very possibly.
Hopefully we are. But that's what I was trying to figure out earlier. I'm like, because I don't want to know what to expect if we're gonna have new people coming in here. So 3rd and 17, huge loss. Nick Sirianni, new head coach of the Eagles. I hope you're not watching that. I could just tell he was saying some.
Here's a question: Coach of the Year.
Give me
Matt LaFleur versus Nick Sirianni.
Oh, easy. Matt LaFleur, 39 wins in 3 years.
But that would make him coach of the 3 years.
Sure.
This season is a question.
But he's been a great coach. He got Rodgers to come back. 4th and 16, and the field goal team is coming on. Jake Elliott, the kicker.
Which means I need to prepare for a 10-10 scoreboard to come.
Oh, is it going to be Elliott? Yes, it is. He's 28 for 31 field goals, as long as 58.
He likes to read ESPN graphics.
16 for 16 from inside, 40 yards on this season. And it's going to be a 38-yard attempt with 12:30 left in the quarter. And the kick is up, and it is good.
And it is 10-10.
Getting that update. He's on it here as fireworks go on at the Linc.
Will those fireworks annoy someone who lives nearby? Although maybe. They should sort of expect
they should.
Those fireworks to be there, considering. I think of that with all the games that are at Lambeau Field.
Everyone so where are you joining us from, and who is your NFL team if you have one? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Some things, yes. Some things we will not discuss. But most things we will.
We're not going to be talking politics or religion or anything like that. Here that you'll find some videos where we'll talk about religion, but live streams not the place for it. For us at least. We're cool with most things. Just no politics or religion or anything like that.
And if you want to discuss cheese.
Oh, we're good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll
oh, yeah. us. Stay with us. Okay,
All right,
what's
we're
here?
good. Dave and Kathy Hyde, LaFleur should finally win best regular season start in history. Yeah, he's been great.
In terms of 3 consecutive years going 13-3, about to be 14-3.
If they beat the Lions.
If they should beat the Lions, which I absolutely think they should.
Close enough, Dave and Kathy Hyde.
Let's see, Mr. Chopsticks, you're watching Svengoolie on MeTV. That's like an way super old television show. Some of you might know that, by the way.
I don't know it. I've never heard of it.
It's crazy, especially when you consider that what frogs are eating people. What?
My old time TV show that Anana Mommy and I
Weird.
watch a lot is the Andy Griffith Show. Little chat here, streaming free 24/7 on Pluto TV. Go check it out, all free.
Absolutely. Now, the worst but funniest bad movie I've ever seen. You've never seen it yet?
Okay. I think I know what you were about to say.
No, I don't think you are.
Oh, okay.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Never heard of that, and it sounds weird.
Exactly.
Sounds real weird.
It's one of those movies that you watch that it's so bad, it's funny and entertaining.
Okay, here we go. 17 to make playoffs after starting 3-6 or worse for 9 games.
That takes absolute
I think that's in
will,
NFL history.
skill to be able to figure out how to win and change what you do midstream, mid-season. I mean, that's just a great case of resiliency, a wonderful value to live.
David Kathy Hyde, it's classic but terrible. And I apologize if you see me bumping into him. This chair kind of spins sometimes.
Let's see.
No watch Roller Gator. That movie gave me a headache.
It may be a few years before we start having you watch that type of stuff. Plus, you're not a big movie watcher anyway.
No, I'm not a movie fan. I watch sports and that's it.
You're watching on the screen, by the way, if you're watching the game, the picture of
Jason
Jason
Kelce.
Kelce, the center of the Philadelphia Eagles.
This could be his last game ever. I wanna. So here we go. First and 10, Dallas.
We want to talk about Jason Kelce for a little bit here because he has been the heartbeat of that Philadelphia team in so many ways.
Yeah.
Absolute class guy, though. How many of you ever saw the Philadelphia Eagles championship parade where he gave a speech?
I've seen that. Bleep.
That's true. But the other thing I want to mention about this was, as we discussed, something just as weird. Santa defeats the Space Martians as a genius, silly movie. I finally got an explanation of what Jason Kelce's getup was. Remember that whole outfit that he wore with all the feathers and all that type of stuff? I finally figured out where that came from.
And?
The Philadelphia Mummers Parade. It was an ode to the Mummers Parade. Every year, you have a whole bunch of groups that get dressed up in these weird, silly costumes on New Year's Day and do all these like entertainment and like different song and dance performances as they go down Broad Street. It's silly, it's strange, it's weird, it's awesome.
I'm getting a word from our producer that we don't actually have a producer. That it is 2nd and 10 Dallas. Even though the producer doesn't need to tell me that because we're watching the game. As Jason Kelce comes in.
Yeah,
he did come in early.
They came in earlier. I want to say this was the first snap of the game. And he came in to be able to start 122 consecutive games. Absolute class act, Jason Kelce, especially if this is your last game
in
Philadelphia.
He'll for sure have a wild card game that he'll play.
If I had to guess, I think he's going to keep playing. That's just me.
I don't know.
That's just me. Dallas with the football at the 25.5-yard line. This looks like a big pass play.
Oh, and it is.
Oh, my
CeeDee Lamb.
gosh.
And CeeDee Lamb all the way to
Not only did CeeDee Lamb catch the ball in double coverage in traffic, not only did he get hit by 3 guys, he broke the tackle and ran another 15 yards.
Yeah, right at the 50-yard line. 2 guys have, 3 guys, 4 guys. Yeah.
He was a pinball right in the middle of the deep defense of the Eagles.
3.
Stayed on his feet, had the balance to keep going.
4
Just
guys.
a ridiculous play.
He avoided 4 tackles.
Just an absolutely ridiculous play. 10:52 left in the quarter, by the way. Dallas
They're
with the
going to
football
run it, and
tied at 10.
Zeke is going to get about 5 yards.
Yeah, about 5 or 6 yards. All right. Since we were on the topic earlier, craziest movie you've ever seen. Silliest, weirdest movie you've ever watched. Mine was Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Mine was...
You ever watch a lot of movies? You're not a big movie watcher.
Yeah, I don't. Weird movies. Oh, I could... Some of the... he showed me a lot of weird things, I'll tell you that. He showed me a lot of weird shows. Like, can I have that pillow?
Okay. Well, I'm worried about this, but go ahead. Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
He hasn't shown me that movie, but he showed me the
You see, it's even weirder than what Mr. Chopsticks is talking about, because you had a frog eating someone. In Monty Python and the Holy Grail, you have a killer rabbit. Who's watched it? Tell me. No, don't tell me you haven't watched that movie at some point.
Flag.
Let's see. We got a definite flag on the play, but we're trying to figure out what it is.
I think it was false start or offsides on the snap. Which
is strange.
Or it's something, or it's a late hit.
It could be a late hit. It could be hitting a defenseless player while he's on the run. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Loved it, and you watch it every year. Back in Milwaukee at the old Oriental Theater, 1920s, 1930s style theater.
Yeah, I remember the Oriental.
Every Saturday night at midnight, I believe, or was it Friday night at midnight? One or the other. They would always show the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And it would always have people who would come in like throwing stuff at the screen, like there are traditions with it. I don't know what they are, but if someone can explain that, that'd be fantastic. But it is this hilarious tradition.
Yeah. So yeah, now we are on a commercial because
my favorite. But
we're still looking at something.
But also, you talk about great movies that I'm going to have to show you someday. One of these movies, I think I'm going to probably need to wait for a few more years for you. The Blues Brothers. The Blues Brothers. I have loved that movie my whole life. So good. So good.
Yeah, so we are, just to let you all know, we are going to be with you through the end of halftime, and then we will probably be out. We might watch the game until 10 o'clock, but I'm going to be gone.
Yeah, it'll be close to his bedtime.
Yeah, well, kind of, yeah. I would say so.
Yeah. Again, this game that you're watching along the side, which we're also watching with you, it is a nationally televised game between the most watched team in the National Football League, the Dallas Cowboys. There are rivals, the local Philadelphia Eagles right here in our new hometown of Philadelphia. And I agree with you, Mr. Chopsticks 2000 is completely unwatchable. But it's a game that is in a lot of ways meaningless.
Yeah.
Because these teams don't have much to play for.
Yeah.
They can't earn much by winning. They can't really drop by losing too much in terms of the seedings with the playoffs.
They can go.
Yeah, it's really a game that they're playing for pride.
Yeah. Still here. Okay, we are back.
We're here.
Good.
Yeah, I may have set some alarms that were supposed to be for morning that were set for nighttime.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to fix that. But at the same time, we are back to action. 9:40 left here in the second quarter. With a head coach who is trying to do the Mike McCarthy beard, can't pull the Mike McCarthy beard off as well.
Well, he doesn't have a gray beard.
He doesn't have a gray beard, and he doesn't have the Santa look. Mike McCarthy, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, former head coach of the Green Bay Packers.
You're saying it wrong. Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, in the Jerry Jones voice. He is a candidate for being a future Santa Claus. Absolute candidate for being a perfect future Santa the clause.
Yes. So yeah. I'm Jerry Jones, and I approve this message that the Dallas Cowboys are the best team in the entire world. Go Cowboys and beat the Eagles.
The Dallas Cowboys. I do not understand why
we are ruining
somebody
the ball.
Does not love the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't understand.
Especially because it fills my wallet even more because you spend money on the Dallas Cowboys.
And I am
Jerry Jones, they're ridiculously rich owner.
And I am about I can't do the accent.
It's not as good as Frank Kelly.
How can we talk about football at a time like this when a guy in a wheelchair just got killed by a
Oh my God.
That's Cowboys. How can
Because we're doing Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones impersonation.
Yes.
That's why.
What is 200,000 legs and one full set of teeth?
A
whole bunch of frogs.
Let's see, 200,000.
Oh!
And
we
yes.
have it!
Is that a touchdown, Dallas? A crowd at a Cowboys game. Yes, they have just made it about to be a 17-10 game.
Almost 200. Well, yeah, they have 200,000 legs.
24-yard touchdown reception by Cedric Wilson.
Yeah, what a play by Wilson there. Gets across the pylon.
Outstanding catch. I give him all the credit in the world.
But yeah, I don't understand why it took so long for us to score a touchdown. That's Cowboys. We should be winning 59-0 right now because the Dallas Cowboys are the greatest football team in the history of the world. Thank you very much. And I'm Jerry Jones, and I approve that message.
That man is a brilliant businessman
and
a horrible. No, yes, it is. It almost went out. That was weird. It almost went off the crossbar, looked like, but that maybe I'm seeing things. But the point is that Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones is a brilliant businessman and a horrible, horrible judge of football talent.
Okay, we're getting all this set up currently. Thumbnail, and we are good. 17-10. Dallas leads Philadelphia. Let's get back to the live chat. 5.
Annie!
Hello!
Hey! She joined us on our latest vlog video from Tuesday. Yes. You joined us in our latest vlog video from Tuesday. Go check out both our version and Annie's version of it. We can link to hers through ours.
Yes.
And you can see both versions of our story when we went to that Packers-Ravens game back on December 19th this past year. Best game maybe of the entire 2021 NFL season. One of the most competitive by far.
Mr. Chopsticks. Well, you did put up together a team.
He's talking about Jerry Jones, by the way, Mr. Chopsticks. Yeah, he and Jimmy Johnson built a powerhouse in the 1990s because of one trade.
Yes.
The trade of Herschel Walker to the Minnesota Vikings for a gajillion draft picks, which basically stacked that roster
good trade.
And turned the Dallas Cowboys into a behemoth of a team in the 1990s. And then the Packers won the Super Bowl in the 1996 season. Dallas hasn't won a title since. And yes, Andy, an absolute ball. Absolute
we have a little bit of breaking news. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers signed Vita Vea, their star defensive tackle, through 2026, $73 million deal for a tackle.
That tells you how valuable on defense the line is. Defensive line is one less piece of important below quarterback. Quarterback, D-line, O-line. That is where you build a championship team, or those positions. And yes, you saw Herschel Walker, Mr. Chopsticks, give a talk. He had a bunch of demands to be traded. Jerry Jones signed his request without looking at it. Man. And the crazy part is, yes, Herschel Walker went back to the Cowboys later. And they stunk from 1996 on. They have been this business behemoth and haven't done anything on the football field in terms of winning championships or even getting back to a Super Bowl. And right now we're going back to video of the Super Bowl that Philadelphia won in 2017, the 2017 season, February 2018, and the game where the Eagles beat the evil empire New England Patriots and won their first Super Bowl ever.
Okay, I just linked it into the chat. Just call me Annie's video, of the game, and you can see ours right on, our channel,
the Sorty Stories channel,
yes,
as well. So definitely check out both when this live video is done, or even now if you want to. You still be watching us. We appreciate that big time.
And if you don't
like this video, by the way, if you haven't yet,
and if you don't want to go off of our stream and want to click that link, what you can do is go to the link, and if you're on a computer, drag it to the top, get new tab, then you won't go off of us.
And subscribe to Just Call Me Annie.
Yes.
Great channel for mid-Atlantic traveling. So many cool nooks and crannies that she's found. Some great videos as well from North Carolina. Definitely check that channel out and subscribe to her.
Glitching. We are good. It looked like we were glitching. Third down for the Eagles.
17-10 right now. Dallas over Philadelphia as we are under the halfway point of the second quarter.
Yes. So
Randy Gregory, an outstanding defensive lineman. Oh my God! Wait a minute. Just Call Me Annie. You are going to Ravens Steelers.
Big Ben's last game. Wow.
My gosh. That's one to definitely check out.
Oh,
regardless of whether you can't stand the Steelers or you're a fan of the Steelers, that absolutely is a game to check out.
I wonder what the ticket prices are there.
That might be worth looking up. I'm going to look that up real quick if you can handle things real quick.
Yes. So yeah, huge play too. I think that is Fulgham. For the Philadelphia Eagles, at least a 20-yard, not 30-yard play there. So now it's 1st and 10. Eagles from inside Dallas territory at the 48. Minshew tries to throw it away.
I can't believe I'm seeing this. I'm seeing $65 tickets.
That's
for Ben Roethlisberger's last game, Steelers-Ravens.
Yeah,
and there's some playoff possibilities in there.
Yeah, for the Ravens at least.
Right now,
they need a whole lot to get in, but
they need a win and some help to make the playoffs. But that's just crazy.
Chris Learning.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Give Annie some love. That's awesome.
Go check all of you. Go check each other out.
By far.
So yeah, here we go. It's gonna be a run. There. We should be good.
Great set of broken tackles by Philadelphia running back. Yes, Mr. Chopsticks. Just $65 tickets.
Hey, that
you find that a lot with these late season games. If games are not where it's head-to-head for a championship, and I think you're also finding some low prices because people don't want to go in big gatherings with this Omicron variant. And I get it.
Yeah.
I 100% get it. When we went to that Packers-Ravens game,
we were
safe. Double masked. We were outdoors. We were sitting way up in the upper deck. That way our breath could go way up high and not be as easily breathable. So I think that helped us. And being fully vaccinated, being boosted, that helped us massively. Yeah. With all the precautions we took,
second and
we were
4,
fine.
Philly running for not much of a game. And there is a flag, though. That could be on the defense.
Oh, we got some more pushing and shoving and extracurricular discussions.
And I think that is going to be on the defense based on the Dallas players' reaction.
And they're not arguing between Pat's and Gino's cheesesteaks.
Alligators are about to eat away.
Oh, Chris Learn, we'd love for you to revive your channel someday if you get a chance, but I understand when life happens.
Yeah.
And you can't do it. It's absolutely okay.
So it will be 5:03 left.
Yep.
Second and 14
for Philadelphia. Someday I do want to get to an Eagles game, just to experience it.
Yeah, so
I may not go for a Packers-Eagles game just for safety reasons.
Yeah.
By the way, some more evidence of how some Eagles fans, not a majority, but some Eagles fans treat the opponent. There's this video on YouTube of these two 49ers fans that are sitting together. And it's like 3 minutes of being pelted with snowballs. They just got pelted with snowballs.
I threw snowballs
constantly.
right back at them. We are we are from Wisconsin. We know a thing or two about snowballs.
We can handle snowball fights.
Oh yeah, we really need to do is get go check them out. Mark Rober. Mark Rober made a snowball machine.
Snowball machine?
Yeah, he makes a machine for everything.
Ooh.
He made the world's largest t-shirt cannon.
Yes, it absolutely could have been worse. By the way, just call me Annie. That's why
they throw snowballs at Santa.
One of the I don't want to call it a funny video because it was really bad what was going on in this one game. Jaguars Browns 2001. Jaguars Browns 2001. Fans were throwing bottles at each other. It was just horrific. Just horrific what they were doing to each other at the end of the game. And it cost the Browns a win.
Yeah.
I believe going back, it may have cost the Browns a win. Yes, Santa Claus got pelted with snowballs in an Eagles game.
Yes.
But there's a lot of mitigating circumstances.
Yeah, the guy literally was walking 4 feet from the sidelines, and he was. Some people say he was drunk. He says he wasn't drunk, but
he was just grabbed out of the crowd.
Yeah.
It was a really bad Santa suit. I think people knew.
They put like pads on him to make him look like he was actually Santa.
It looks like that Philadelphia is going to be going with their third string center, by the way, because they don't want they don't want Jason Kelce to have to take any chances to go into this game and get hurt for the playoffs.
I think that's just Landon Dickerson, their backup.
They run the football, get a first down, and they are now inside the 10-yard line.
So first and goal, 7 yards.
This is an interesting game.
Clock running. We will be with you.
This is a fun game.
Through halftime. When halftime is over, we're going to be done. Because, yeah.
I loved the ode to John Madden with the replay that they just showed, the end zone replay, because you had the actual telestrator with the artwork, the sort of pen artwork to show how the sweep play worked. I love that ode to John Madden. God rest his soul.
And also Dan Reeves recently passing away. That was sad. The NFL coach.
He was part of 9 Super Bowls. I believe it was 2 as a player. He had 3 as an assistant coach with Dallas in the 70s, and then 4 as a head coach with the Denver Broncos and the Atlanta Falcons. He didn't go with one in New York.
Okay.
He did with Atlanta.
So second and goal, and
that should be an easy touchdown. Yep. I've got to score that day.
That is going to be, I think that's Gainwell, if I'm correct. Let's see if I'm right. Yep, that's going to be Kenneth Gainwell. 7-yard touchdown run. 3:40 left. Easy run. He started out about the 15-yard line about the 13-yard line where he got the ball, and he just went outside. Easy touchdown. As we are updating the score to make it 17-16.
Assuming that they made the extra
point. 17-17. With 3:40 left again. So here in the second. And yeah. So the kick is up, and it is right down the middle.
17 all, and it was the score between Dallas and Philadelphia.
And Devontae Smith did break the Eagles' rookie season record,
which is outstanding. A great comment from Mr. Chopsticks. Dan Reeves should be in the Hall of Fame. If you go by the philosophy that a coach who brings his team to 4 Super Bowls, loses all 4, gets into the Hall of Fame, agreed. And there's precedent. Because Bud Grant, head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, went to 4 Super Bowls. The only 4 Super Bowls the Vikings organization has ever been to. Lost them all.
You talk about that. I'll be right back.
Marv Levy, head coach of the Buffalo Bills, went to 4 Super Bowls with the Buffalo Bills. Lost them all. Made the Hall of Fame. I'm with you. I am with you. Absolutely. Should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, as I'm currently watching an ad with bratwurst, mustard, and onions. That's a hot dog? Oh, no. Give me a bratwurst. Give me a Usinger's bratwurst. Usinger, if you go with Bob Uecker impersonation, Usinger's fine sausage. Bratwurst with pretzel bun, sauerkraut, the finest. Like some of the other great Bob Uecker commercials, of course, the Miller Lite commercials. I'm going to have to go back and check and see if Bob Uecker and John Madden were ever in the same Miller Lite commercial. That would have been absolute humor at the highest top level. Absolute highest top level, and worth checking out. By far. Go back on YouTube and find the old Miller Lite commercials, and you'll see some of those. Right now, a 17-17 game. As you can see, Philadelphia and Dallas tied in this late stretch of the second quarter. Little Buddy's going to be coming right back. We will be here through halftime at that point. And yes, this part of South Philly where the stadium is, Lincoln Financial Field, it's in this big stadium district where you have the home of the Eagles and Temple football. You have the home of the Philadelphia Phillies, Citizens Bank Park. You have the home of both the Philadelphia 76ers and Philadelphia Flyers, Wells Fargo Arena. There's a whole bunch of cheesesteak spots that are right by there. And even better, the roast pork sandwich. There's one that I've checked out that I've had here in Philadelphia. That's going to be part of our tour as we continue to check out more going on. Absolutely. The roast pork sandwich, I dare say, is better than the cheesesteak. And I've had it at a place called Tommy DeNick's in Reading Terminal Market. We're going to check that one out. Oh, so good. So good. 3:40 left. Dallas with the football at the 25-yard line. Philadelphia Eagles slapped the football down. If you want to use the old John Facenda phrase, and like a volleyball playing pads, spike the pass to the ground. And by the way, John Facenda, the great voice of NFL films for so many years, he was a news anchor here in Philadelphia. He was a news anchor at what's now NBC 10 here in Philly. And they took him to give the Shakespearean viewpoint toward how to call and how to narrate a football film as a big gain for Ezekiel Elliott and an option run puts them now into Philadelphia territory. Mr. Chopsticks, no, I don't think he did play-by-play for the Eagles. Facenda never did. He was a news anchor here in Philadelphia for many years, and then he just solely did NFL films. Harry Callis did play-by-play of the Philadelphia Phillies as well as NFL films. And then you've got the voice of the Eagles, who's still the voice of the Eagles after at least 43 years. Merrill Reese is still the voice of the Eagles. John Facenda never called a Philadelphia Eagles game. I will promise you that.
So
it is now first down, and 10 second quarter. We're nearing the 2-minute warning as Philadelphia has to defend 35 yards to keep the Cowboys out of the end zone.
Mission unsuccessful. I was trying to find what she said, but I thought it would be good to have some decor in the background, but that didn't work. But if you look up Cowboys versus Eagles live score and you stick on the live filter, we are number 3.
That's outstanding.
Yeah, behind seems like a pretty, like, with thousands of subscribers channel and a bot. So yeah.
In time, that'll happen. in time. Yes, Merrill Reese will do voiceovers. We have someone called Coach.
Oh, I think that's Coach MTG. I've seen you on American Football Network.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Merrill Reese does occasional voiceovers, particularly for the Eagles films. And I do a bad Merrill Reese. I'll be upfront with you. And the reason is because I'm a baritone. He's more of a tenor.
Yeah, I don't do
the Merrill Reese that I do.
That's not bad.
Merrill Reese and Mike Quick here at the Wallon Conshohocken. Next week we'll be at the Wallon Pensauken with Bill Berkey and Wilbert Montgomery, a 1980 Eagles reunion. And then we'll be near Wissahickon Valley Park with Freddie Mitchell. That's about all I can do.
Yes. So, if you are just joining us, it is 17-17, about 2 minutes left in the first half. We will be with you through halftime. We'll be finishing up in the second quarter from there, or at the end of halftime.
Any Walter Payton NFL Films video is typically outstanding because they may be the best storytellers in all of sports and perhaps beyond in terms of documentary storytelling. I absolutely agree. Go back and find on YouTube any Walter Payton video narrated by John Facenda. Oh my gosh. And yes, I still call him the best running back of all time.
Yes. If you are just happening to be clicking on this video, you just found us through YouTube somehow. I'm Anthony, he's Daddy, and this is Sorgy Stories, where we do sports, travel, and food.
And just life.
Yeah, and just life. So, we're doing videos every Tuesday night and streams.
Tuesday morning, typically, by the way.
Yeah, Tuesday morning usually, and then, I would say, usually on the weekends.
We'll do a stream on the weekend at some point, typically.
Barry is the best, but Walter is my favorite. Well, maybe Barry.
Walter, I still give a higher bid of a level to. Barry, if you're comparing Barry Sanders and Walter Payton, that's like comparing a Lamborghini and a Ferrari.
Yeah.
They were both just ridiculous.
Top 5.
Ridiculous. Top 3, I'd say at least.
Well, top 5.
Those two and Jim Brown.
Top 5 running backs of all time: Jim Brown, Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, Paul Hornung, and
I wouldn't put Hornung in that category.
You wouldn't? Okay, Gale Sayers has to be up there.
Oh my gosh, what a catch right by the 3-yard line for Dallas.
Yeah.
As it's now 1st and goal for them at about the 2.5-yard line. Just a beautifully thrown ball that was just set up perfectly.
But there's a flag.
There is flaggage. Brazilian flag makers are losing all the fabric from their yellow hankies. It's going to go against Philadelphia.
Declined.
Yes.
1st and goal.
The reason why I put Walter ahead of Barry is because Walter Payton was more skilled at more different things than Barry Sanders. He was a ridiculous runner of the football. Better receiver. Touchdown Dallas.
Oh, no.
Whoa, maybe not.
They call it incomplete. Apparently, he didn't get the feed, and he might not have. Let's see.
Walter Payton was a fantastic blocker, especially in the pass pocket. You never saw Barry Sanders blocking.
One. He got one, maybe a little.
American Football Network. We all know Bo Jackson, the best running back ever. He could have been. He could have been the best running back in the history of football had he not gotten hurt with the Los Angeles Raiders, who became the Oakland Raiders, who became the Las Vegas Raiders. Touchdown Dallas this time. It's confirmed.
That's going to be whatever it is. Hornets beat the Bucks 114-106. But Giannis 43 points.
I don't care if he scores 99 if they lose.
True, but still pretty good. Yeah, Dalton Schultz took that one in for the TD. Now it's 23-17, 24 with the extra point. We will see you later, Chris, learning.
Thank you
Mr.
so much.
Top 6, he's been in the Baseball Hall of Fame if he had stuck to baseball. Maybe. And that extra point is no good.
Whoa!
So you're going to have to change that graphic back to 23-17, making it a touchdown game with 1:45 left to go in the first half.
That's going to be interesting later on with potential 2-point conversion situations.
So, yeah.
Very interesting.
Let's see. what happened on this play. Okay, so they stuck Amari Cooper. So they flipped Amari Cooper and Dalton Schultz. So Cooper was lined up. I'm gonna stand up so that you kind of see it how I do here. So, I think this is right. So yeah, Amari Cooper.
He is such a target.
Amari Cooper lined up here. Dalton Schultz lined up here.
Wide
they
open.
Cross. Schultz wide open. There you go.
Wide open. Receiver Andy just was wide open.
I agree,
American
football there. He would have been in the Pro Football Hall of Fame if he didn't get injured. Yeah, he would have.
I agree with completely.
So yes.
And by the way, now in his 50s, Bo Jackson is a world-class archer.
Hold on, I will be right back. Something is happening with my computer. Apparently, I only have 3% left.
I still think.
So I'll be right back to get the charger.
Okay. I still think he could compete in the Olympic Games. Absolutely could compete in the Olympic Games. 136 left for Philadelphia to score and try and take the lead in what has been a ridiculously high-scoring first half, which I have no complaints about. I love high-scoring football games. Love high-scoring football games. Let's see. We're getting into some discussions here. Best tackle breaker ever. Are we talking about Bo Jackson being the best tackle breaker ever?
I think so.
Ooh. Walter Payton. Walter Payton, I still would have to put in that category. Maybe only because there was a larger sample size. Again, because of injury. But, yeah, absolutely. Now, if you look at the Bo versus Brian Bosworth tackle, as one example, yes. Another great tackle breaker. Earl Campbell. Houston Oilers. Going back to the old great John Facenda. He was born Earl Christian Campbell from Tyler, Texas. The man could break the tackle of an entire defensive line.
Okay, everyone.
He was just ridiculous at breaking tackles.
Oh, sorry.
100% ridiculous at breaking tackles.
Okay, so
he could break real quick. He could break the tackle of Jack Tatum. Go look up the video. Jack Tatum, Earl Campbell, maybe one of the greatest collisions in football history.
Okay, so now I am plugged in. We're good now. If the thing would work, come on now. We can't see the score, even though we know what it is at the time. We have 1:11 left. Minshew.
Minshew just a great drop back passer.
He's going to take that run.
But this time he's just going to run it and scramble just for a few extra yards and slide for his safety.
1 minute and counting down. 2nd and 6. Philly doesn't need a touchdown, but it would help.
Very sad, by the way, with Earl Campbell now living in a wheelchair.
I did not hear about that.
Because of the hits that he took as a pro football player.
Yeah,
he gave up his body. He gave up his body hard. As it's now 41 seconds left in the first half with Philadelphia moving the football down 6 as they head towards halftime.
That's going to be holding on the offense.
Ickey Woods, best fullback of all time. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I can give you all the funny names of fullbacks who were just the most obscure guys.
American.
Like Paul Caruth with the Packers, as an example. He was bad, but just funny. Yeah, I have not heard the case of Brad Johnson being barely able to walk. The coolest sports card ever, the Bo Jackson card, where he has shoulder pads on and a baseball bat across his shoulders. The old Nike ad. The old Nike advertisement. Love that.
3rd and 16. 37 seconds left in the half. We will be with you for halftime here. So, yeah.
And I want to also say, you will never see the Ickey Shuffle. You will never see the Ickey Wood Shuffle on this channel, ever. You don't want to see me do the Ickey Shuffle, and you don't know it yet.
No, you don't want to see him dance. When he starts dancing, I'm like,
just like what just happened to Gardner Minshew as he gets sacked at about the 21-yard line.
Oh, with the celebration.
And the celebration included push-ups. And that puts them in a fourth down situation. And so they're going to put the football away. Dallas could make this a two-score game if they are incredibly quick moving the football down the field.
The Sorgy shuffle. I like that, coach.
You had a very interesting tackle and twist there, which put Dallas in position to be able to get the sack. Just a great power move.
There's the Super Bowl shuffle. There's this. There's gobbledygook. And if he didn't pass away from cancer, Ernie Davis could be the.
Again,
yes.
It's just sad that there were too small of a sample size.
Yeah.
Because he was gone. I'd have to go back and see his old Syracuse films.
Here we go.
And just see how good he was back at Syracuse. But
4th and 29, CeeDee Lamb to return 31 seconds.
I will give you the argument, though. Bo Jackson, not the best running back ever. Maybe the greatest athlete since Jim Thorpe.
Mm-hmm.
The greatest athlete since Jim Thorpe. If you don't know who Jim Thorpe is, look it up. And a horrific punt by Philadelphia. Dallas has the ball at the 42 of Philly.
Wow, that's scoring spot for them.
Oh, you're talking about that card of Bo Jackson?
Oh, he got too much arconic. It just went. So the punt. Well, not. Oh, let me do this right. It went not.
And when he learns to really whistle, that's going to be fun. That's going to be good. It's 1st and 10 for Dallas at the 43-yard line, and they are about to get a whole bunch of that yardage.
They're at a score.
More than half of that yardage on one throw.
They're going to spike it or call a timeout here.
And Prescott has just moved them into range.
They spiked it, I think.
17 seconds left. They just called timeout, I think.
Okay, they called time.
And this Dallas offense can move the ball. That offense can move the ball. Time by the greatest athletes ever, Jim Thorpe, Bo Jackson, Herschel Walker, Jim Brown, best natural athletes ever. Got to put Michael Jordan in that category.
Yes, Michael.
Got to put Michael Jordan in that category. But, yeah, pure athlete. I mean, when you got Jim Thorpe, he played in the NFL. He played Major League Baseball. He won an Olympic decathlon. He won an Olympic modern pentathlon. He destroyed everybody. DJ Dozier, back the old Penn State guy, if I'm correct on this, the guy that helped Penn State beat Miami in the Fiesta Bowl to win the 1986 national championship. Is that the guy? Oh, David, Kathy Hyde, you're giving me nightmares. Why didn't the Packers draft Barry Sanders?
If we drafted...
so sad.
Just...
Barry Sanders gave the Packers nightmares. I mean, he had some big days. Packers usually won those games.
13
seconds. That's your point.
13 seconds. 2nd and 4. And Dak...
almost touchdown. Dallas with 9 seconds left, but a drop.
Right through his hands. 3rd and 4. Now 9 seconds.
I'm going to have to look at that name, Banks McFadden, by the way. But yeah, that's a good one. That is a definite good one to add to the list. Mr. Chopsticks, you talked about that -1 game. I was at that game. I was at that point where they held Barry Sanders, one of the 3 greatest running backs in the history of pro football, to -1 yards. And it was mainly because of that guy named Reggie White. Dallas has the football, 9 seconds left at the 8-yard line, or about 8.5-yard line. And Dak gets the football into the end zone, and it is a lead extender for Dallas. It's about to be 30-17.
American Football Network. Michael's baseball stint was just to clear up his gambling problems, not to actually play baseball.
That's very possible.
And Mr. Chopsticks, and Jordan stunk at baseball. David Kathy Hyde, Sanders only played 1, but he had moves I've never seen.
Oh, the moves Barry Sanders had. If you watch Gale Sayers, you may have seen some of those same moves. He was, in terms of just pure running ability, Gale Sayers was Barry Sanders' equal. I would argue that. But they were just both insane. Both absolutely insane. Absolutely insane with their talent. I would put Sayers in terms of just a pure runner. Top 5. Easy top 5. As we update the score.
Hold on. Let's make sure that they're... Did they get the extra point?
I thought they had.
Let's see.
Am I missing it?
Just to be sure.
Yes,
Yep,
they did.
Okay, good.
There we are. 30-17 score update right now for Dallas as they play in South Philadelphia. This first half, 16 of 21.
Yes.
If I saw correctly, 240 yards, 4 touchdowns in one half.
Yeah, and by the way, if you see me looking down, I have the chat here, so I'm able to do whatever, and I can pin comments through here too, which is really nice.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, Barry Sanders did not need the offensive line. He didn't really have much. He did not have much, and on that day, on December 31st, 1994, 27 years after the Ice Bowl, to the day, the Packers defense owned them. There was one play I remember in that game. Reggie White literally grabbed the offensive lineman that was blocking for Barry Sanders, lifted him up, and threw him into Barry Sanders for the tackle. Maybe the greatest defensive move I've ever seen.
I think I just somehow... YouTube won't let me go back through the whole thing, so I just got rid of our pinned comment somehow. Don't ask me how. That was weird, but sorry about that. That was kind of weird.
That's absolutely
Okay, now we can get it. Yeah, on I don't know what the problem is, but yeah.
Absolutely okay. If you're watching right now and you haven't liked that video, we would love it if you like that like button, as people will hopefully be joining us now
for halftime.
For halftime, as we are now at the half. Dallas, a 30-17 lead on Philadelphia. You've seen more of Dallas' starters in this game, especially the quarterback position. It's a 1 versus a 2 type of thing. Agreed. American Football Network. Deion Sanders, a 2-sport athlete by far. And yes, Emmitt Smith may have had the greatest offensive line in the history of football.
Yeah.
Mr. Chopsticks. Yeah, any one of us could probably run for 1,000 yards behind that line. I'm going to give you maybe one that's about the equal. The Oakland Raiders of the 1970s that had Art Shell, that had Gene Upshaw. Another one, the Green Bay Packers line of the 1960s. 3 starters in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Gary Kramer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the other guys.
Jim Ringo and Forrest Wright.
I forgot about those guys.
Now, talking about this game, and I think about the overall playoff situation. Again, Dallas isn't really playing for much. Philadelphia isn't playing for much. This feels like half preseason game, half postseason primer.
But we do have some good news. David Bakhtiari is in for tomorrow.
For the Green Bay Packers taking on the Detroit Lions.
First game back from his ACL tear in 2020, December of that year. And Warriors Klay Thompson coming back as well.
When
tomorrow.
we become Sports Center in general.
Yes.
All right. Tell us what you think of what we can expect in the NFL playoffs. Who do you think is going to win and why? Yes, we don't know all the matchups yet. Tell us what you expect the matchups to look like as we get closer to the end of the season. What you think the seedings are going to be.
So I will put this in the chat as I say it, but I see it being Rams against the Saints.
Okay. And is that 2 versus 7?
That's 2 versus 7.
Okay.
Bucks versus Eagles.
Ooh.
And Cowboys versus Cardinals.
I would agree with you on that. Although, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. San Francisco's playing for something. They're still in the race.
Yeah,
but they need some help.
But the Saints are playing Atlanta.
But just go with me on this.
Okay.
even if San Francisco doesn't get the playoff spot, they're still going to be playing for something. They're taking on the Rams. They have owned the Rams head to head the last 5 or 6 games. They have owned Los Angeles. There's a real chance that you could see it upset in that game. And if you see that happen, Arizona's got a shot at winning that division.
Yeah.
Which would relegate the Rams to the 5 seed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a Rams-Cowboys 5-4 game could be luscious football viewing. Luscious football viewing. I don't know, Mr. Chopsticks, who I'm going to pick for the CFL, but I will tell you, I want a Winnipeg Blue Bombers jersey. Those are awesome blue and gold jerseys.
Okay.
I'd have to get that one. As for the AFC, Coach telling us year of the roar. The Bengals. Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that yet. Playoff games are a completely different animal. Do you have enough veteran leadership and enough veteran coaching leadership to really be able to maneuver through how hard a playoff run can be?
Hold on. Quick question. Who has the upper hand in the Bills Patriots tiebreaker? Because I think they split, but I don't know what the tiebreaker is on that.
I'm going to have to go look that up because that's a complicated one.
Yes.
That's one where I think we need to go to the ESPN playoff machine. Great website if you ever want to figure out seeding situations. Dave and Kathy Hyde, you're seeing a Tampa Bay Green Bay rematch in a few weeks down the road for the NFC Championship. That totally makes sense. Green Bay is much more outfitted well and more complete to win that one, I think.
I'm trying to
absolutely think so.
Who am I missing here? I've got the Titans, Chiefs, Bengals, Bills, Patriots, Colts, and the Chargers.
Yep, whoever wins that game, which would be the number 4 seed. And
no, the Chiefs won the division.
That's right. For a wild card spot then. That's right.
Yes. So those are the seedings I just put the seedings in the chat of what the AFC is going to look like based on what I think. And there, so it would be Chiefs. I took the Chargers in the game, but Chiefs, Chargers, Bengals, Colts, Bills, Patriots. The Bengals would have a lot of trouble with that Indianapolis offense.
I could see
shootout.
I see the Bills winning that one. I see the Bills making Bill Belichick's life miserable
against the Patriots.
I love that idea. I cannot. The State Farm Dream Super Bowl.
Yes.
Between Rodgers and Mahomes. That company would dream of it. And very frankly, football fans would dream of it because that could be one of the great offensive showcases you'll ever watch.
Coach, the Titans did lose to the Jets. Those right there were the seedings that I, based on picking the games this week, I projected. So I'm not saying the Titans are going to go far or anything like that. Those are just the seedings. Yeah, that's I'm not in charge of what the teams how that works, but I do know that the Titans, if they win, they're the number 1, and they're playing Houston, they'll probably win.
And I also want to give the Jets credit, yes, for beating the Titans, but if any of you,
they did beat the Titans in overtime.
If any of you have ever heard of the transitive property in math,
no, doesn't work in the NFL.
It does not work in the NFL.
Just because. Okay, everyone, pay close attention. Just because the Cowboys lost to the Broncos and the Eagles beat the Broncos doesn't mean the Broncos, or it doesn't mean the Eagles are better than the Broncos, because, well, guess what? The Cowboys beat the Eagles. That's an example.
Exactly. Any team can beat any other team in the NFL on a given Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to knock you personally, Coach. I'm not going to knock you personally.
Yeah, no.
But
Coach, you're cool. You're cool.
Yeah, you're awesome. You're awesome. It's just a difference of opinion about a particular thing. That's
Yeah.
all. And the Jets, my gosh, that's a sorry franchise. Sorry football franchise. It's like I hate saying this if you're a Bears fan, an idiot. The Bears.
Yeah, it's the AFC version of the Bears.
Although we're beginning to hear some rumblings about Jim Harbaugh possibly going there.
No, Raiders. Jim Harbaugh and the Raiders.
Also Chicago.
I'm hearing Ryan Day to the Bears. Jim Harbaugh to the Raiders. That's what I've heard.
No, don't forget Harbaugh played in Chicago.
That's true. That is true.
Let's see. Marquette football winning the national championship. Undefeated since 1960, my friends. Undefeated since 1960. I'm not going to say the Bengals can't win the Super Bowl.
Oh, by the way.
I don't think they will.
By the way, go Pack Go. Go Pack Go. Go Pack Go. Go Pack Go. Just putting that out there. Go Pack Go. And we are Marquette. So, yeah. We have the stream here again, 30-17. The Cowboys are beating the Eagles right now.
Real quick, if you're watching the game as well as you're watching us, tell us what you're watching on. Oh, Coach, now I'm beginning to see. Okay, now I understand the anger about it. You have the Titans in a survivor pool, and it crushed you. That's why I mentioned it. I don't mind that. Okay. The Go Red Blacks. I don't get that one. Explain, please. But
I haven't heard about them.
Yeah. That I'm not sure of. Now, being salty about the Jets win, that I completely get.
Yeah,
I completely understand
that. I get that.
100%.
But yeah, so again, 30-17 halftime.
Oh, okay. CFL. Now I get it.
Oh, I haven't heard about the Red Blacks.
Wasn't that one of the teams that changed from the Rough Riders?
Yeah, that's what
I believe that was one of the teams that changed their nickname from the Rough Riders. But I absolutely have got to get a Winnipeg Blue Bombers jersey.
Yeah.
Blue and gold. I'm a sucker for blue and gold. Here in the Sorgy Story Studios.
We have blue and gold.
Otherwise known as the den in the office.
And the game watching room.
That's why it's a den. Mm-hmm. Someday I want to get a Butch Lee Marquette throwback jersey. I want to get a Sam Huff throwback West Virginia jersey or Jerry West. Mm-hmm. I want to get some sort of Brewers throwback jersey, not the Cecil Cooper, because that's the one that I wear.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Last question for you, by the way, Mr. Chopsticks. Grey Cup, was it outside? Outside in the cold in November?
That's a good question. I've never watched a CFL game, but I've heard things about it.
You can get them here. I used to watch them back when they were on ESPN, back in the early 80s.
Okay.
They would show weekly. Adam Pac-Man Jones, doubtful. I probably would also go for a Jeff Hostetler, a Daryl Talley, West Virginia jersey. Get some of those guys.
Colder than Green Bay in July.
Hey, Green Bay, 80 degrees in July. We were there last year for a video.
Another
Yep.
Spam.
And also colder than Siberia, where that commenter, that bot is going to be based.
Or there
for a good amount of time.
Yeah.
So, bye-bye, bots.
Yeah. Goodbye. So long.
So long. Farewell. Avita saying goodbye. I'll stop saying.
And whenever they play in soccer, go USA, be Russia.
Yep. It is getting to be 10 o'clock Eastern time, and getting to be the second half coming up of this Dallas-Philadelphia matchup.
We're about to be back on.
30-17.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, we'll be wrapping up here in a minute.
Yeah, but we want to thank you, all of you, for joining us here on Sorgy Stories as usual, on our live chats on weekends. We're going to try and do some more of these game chats. We also would love for you to keep checking out our vlogs, our storytelling on Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
Great stories coming up, including a Packers bar next week. We found the Packers bar in Philadelphia. We're going to show you that next week.
Yes, we will.
So check all that out. If you haven't done it, what do you do?
Like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell.
Ding, ding, ding. For little buddy, I'm Daddy. Can you give us your third Bob Euchre of the day?
So long from Stormy Story Studios in Philadelphia,
where you have great cheesesteaks, but you don't have using your sausage, the finest.
and that's your dad.